Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Mr. Dr. Andi Kaharudin SPM Home as a lecturer of Phonetics and Phonology course in the class of PBI for academic year 2024-2025. Excuse me, sir, I'm Firkona Jaya with student ID number 204000124 and 006. Allow me to explain my question about phonetics and phonology. Assignment 11, the suprasegmental sounds, stress, intonation, and juncture. First question, what do you know of suprasegmental sounds, stress, intonation, and juncture? For the first, we would like to explain about suprasegmental sounds. Suprasegmental sounds are featured in speech that go beyond individual sounds or phonemes. They include stress, intonation, and juncture. These elements influence how meaning is interpreted in spoken language. And then is stress. Stress refers to the emphasis placed on certain syllables or word. For example, in the word present, stress on the first syllable, present, make it a noun, while stress on the second syllable, like present, make it a verb. And different from present and present, present is a noun and present is a verb. And then is intonation. Intonation is the rise or fall of pitch across a sentence. For example, a rising intonation is usually used in yes or no question, like are you okay? Are you okay? And the next is juncture. Juncture refers to the pauses and connection between words that help distinguish meanings. For instance, ice cream and ice cream, ice cream and ice cream. Sound similar but different. Juncture help to tell them apart. According to Kaharudin et al., 2020, understand suprasegmental features is important for conveying meaning clearly in English communication. Second question, is using word stress difficult for many Indonesian learners of English? Why? Yes, I believe using word stress is quite difficult for many Indonesian learners. This is because Indonesian is a syllable time language where every syllable is pronounced with relatively equal length and stress. In contrast, English is a stress time, which means some syllables are stressed or more than others. This difference can cause Indonesian learners to struggle in identifying and applying the correct stress pattern, especially in multisyllabic words. I have also experienced this personally when trying to pronounce new English words, especially academic or technical vocabulary. Third question, do word stress and word syllable refer to the same things? No, they don't refer to the same thing. Syllables are units of sound in a word, while word stress is about which syllables is pronounced more strongly. For example, the word banana has three syllables, banana, but the stress is on the second syllables. Banana. Word stress help listeners understand which part of the word is important. According to Late Fauch, 2006, incorrect stress placement can make speech hard to understand even if the pronunciation of sound is accurate. Fourth question, how many types of word stress and syllables do you recognize? Mention and explain with example. There are generally three types of word stress. For the first type types of word stress has three. For the first, primary stress, the main or strongest emphasis in a word, marked with apostrophe before the stress syllables. For example, garden, garden. Stress on first syllables. And the second is secondary stress, a weaker stress than the primary, but still more prominent than on the stress syllable, marked with apostrophe or something small dash. For example, democracy, democracy. Primary on ma, secondary on last syllable c, democracy. And the third is emphatic stress, used to highlight a word in a sentence to show importance, contrast, correction, or emotion. For example, I very much doubt he ate the pizza. Very much carries emphatic stress for intensity. I very much doubt he ate the pizza. Very much carries emphatic stress for intensity. And the next is types of syllables. Word can have 6 types of syllables. For the first one syllable word, for example, cat, help, loud, eats. And the second is 2 syllable words. For example, doctor, doctor, table, today. And the next is 3 syllable words. For example, fantastic, fantastic, energy, energy, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And the next is 4 syllable words. For example, psychology, psychology, psychology. Realistic, realistic, realistic. Traditional, 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 traditional. And the next is 5 syllable words. For example, organization, organization, organization. Hospitality, hospitality, hospitality. And the last is 6 syllable word. For example, responsibility, responsibility, civility, responsibility. Capitalization, capitalization, capitalization. Fifth question, what do you know of content and function word? Is word stress placed in both? Explain with example. Content word carry the main in a sentence. This include nouns, main verb, adjective, and adverb. Meanwhile, function word, on the other hand, include article, preposition, pronouns, auxiliary verb, and edge, which serve grammatically purpose. According to Beer 2017, in normal speech, word stress usually falls on content word. For example, I'm reading a book in the library. I'm reading a book in the library. Here, reading, book, and library are stressed because they are content word. Meanwhile, function word are usually unstressed unless they are emphasized for a reason. Sixth question, is word stress important to learn, and why? Yes, it is very important. Learning proper word stress help in pronunciation, fluency, and clarity. Misplacing stress can lead to misunderstanding. For example, the word record can be a noun, record, or a verb, record, depending on the stress. If we say it wrong, the listener might misinterpret what we mean. Also, correct word stress help in natural speech, rhythm, and better listening comprehension, especially when interacting with native speakers. Last question. Kyun Huguen 2018 mentioned eight general rules of word stress. What do you know of the rules? Do you agree? Yes, I know the eight general rules of word stress that help learners predict where the stress usually falls in English word. These rules are not 100% fixed, but they are useful guidelines. Here are the rules for the first most two syllables. Nouns and adjective are stressed on the first syllables. For example, table, window, happy, clever. And the next is most two syllable verb and preposition are stressed on the second syllable. For example, relax, arrive, between, among. And the next is words ending in ec or shen. Shen are usually stressed on the second to last syllable. For example, geologic, television, education. And the next is word ending in c, t, p, and g. G and o are stressed on the third from and last syllable. For example, democracy, responsibility, photography, theology, and critical. For example, is compound noun are usually stressed on the first part. For example, blackbird, postman, and toothbrush. And the next is compound adjective and compound verb are usually stressed on the second part. For example, old-fashioned, well-known, understand, and overcome. And the next is prefix and suffix usually do not carry stress. The stress is often on the root word. For example, unhappy, revive, dislike. And the next is stress can change depending on whether the word is a noun or a verb. Namely stress shift. For example, record as a noun and record as a verb, and contract is a noun and contract is a verb. And then I agree with these rules because they are very helpful for English learners. They give us a pattern to follow, especially when we find new or long words. Although there are exceptions, these rules can really improve our pronunciation to help listeners understand us better. And then I agree with these rules because they are very helpful for English learners. They give us a pattern to follow, especially when we find new or long words. Although there are exceptions, these rules can really improve our pronunciation and help listeners understand us better. That's all explanation from our answer. I'm sorry for I have a mistake or error. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.